Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This will be our first video about Kubernetes project. It will be a tier 1 project. I have always been excited about learning and deploying Kubernetes. So this is something that a beginner can do and have created a repo, GitHub repo that you can use and deploy this project. And we will be using Azure Kubernetes services. And I have mentioned like we have 6 to 7 steps that we will follow and our deployment will be completed. Okay. So let's get started. To begin with this project, you need to have two prerequisites. One is you should have an Azure account because we are using Azure Kubernetes and for MSSQL database, we will also use the Azure account. Okay. And to push and containerize our repo, Node.js repo, we will push that to Docker container. It is also another public repo that I've created, and we will use it while we will be using the like Kubernetes deployment. Okay, so let's begin with this project. So I mentioned that these are the prerequisites that you need to have. You can either apply for the free tier as well. That will also work. Okay, so I have this repo. Okay, let me show you. Okay, this is my current repo. You can uh, watch it like this is a public repo that you can use on Node MSSQL. In this repo, you will see that in env, I have mentioned that what is the DB username, what is the password, what is the server name and DB name. Okay, so you can modify this file and create your own container and then push it to the Docker. Okay, so let's begin with this. The first thing we will need to do is create a database. Okay, so I will name it a Node JS MS SQL. So I don't have to modify anything. Okay. Node.js MS SQL. Okay. I will name this and I will use the region India. Okay. Here's another thing that I'm using SQL authentication. Okay. So it works when you use this for my repo to work. Okay. Because I'm not using the Entra only authenticate. Okay. So I have mentioned the password here. Okay. And next go to networking. Okay. We are good. Security. We are good. Additional. I don't need this. We are fine. And we created a server. Okay, now this server is created. We need to create now the database. Okay, although we have defined our login passwords and everything, but still we need to create a DB and we will run a query inside it, which will be used and that will help us create a table inside it. So our like repo can work. So how what we will do first is this was our first step, right? We are inside it. Okay. Create an MSSQL DB in Azure. We are in this step, and then this will be our second step. Okay. So this might will take some time. Okay. I will pause the video and we'll get back to you once this is done. All right, guys. So our MSSQL server is ready. Okay. Before continuing, what I will do is I will modify its network setting. I'm enabling the public access. Okay. Just remember this is enabled for this, and I am adding this IP. This is my current public IP which I'm adding. So I can log in inside the database and run the queries, create the table. Okay. And I'm allowing this. What this will do is this will give the Azure Kubernetes service access to this DB. Okay. If this is not selected, then they will not be able to connect. For a project where you need high security, I recommend you use the endpoints, private endpoints, and connect to your DB. And for the variable part, you can store that in key vault. Okay. This is done. Let's go to database and we will create one. Okay. I will name it DB1 so I don't have to make any more of the modification. Okay. DB name is DB1. I need it for development. And let's switch to a some cheap program. Some what can say basic one. Okay. So this one is fine because we don't need very high configuration database. Okay. And this is done. Next to networking, we are good. Security additional, nothing to worry about, and we are good to go. Okay. Okay. So this might will take some time as well. Okay. All right, guys. So our database is created. Now what we will do is we will go to query editor. We will log in As we have already added our public IPs, so we will be able to log in inside this. It is done. And now we need to create a table. As you can see, there are no tables here. For our app to work, it needs a table. And if you go inside this article that I have created, you will see in each step that I've mentioned some queries. You will copy this and run this. Okay. I've ran this query and it's successful, right? Okay, perfect. Now you can log out. It's totally fine. Now what we will do is we will test this. Okay. We will test our application. This is DB1 Node.js. Okay. So what I will do is npm start and connect it to the, okay, now I can see this app in my local host 5000. Okay. Okay, this is working great. And now I need to check if it's working, my database is connected or not. If it's not, I will get an error, like there's some error. If it's successful, then database is connected. Okay. Okay, it's successfully done, right? So it means my database is connected to my app and it's running perfectly. So now we are sure that our application is working fine. And if any issues occur due to connectivity or anything else, it will not be because of the application and database connection. It will be a different issue. It could be a different issue. Okay. So now I will cancel this. And here's the next part. We will create a build now. Okay. I have defined this Docker file here. Okay. As you will be copying the whole repo, so this will be inside it as well. Now we will run. You need to install a Docker inside your system. Like I have already installed it. Okay. So just install it. You can use exe format for this as well. Okay. So I will run the command. This is my ID name. Okay. This one. This one is my Docker Hub ID. This is my repo name. Okay, and this is the number of image I'm that uploading. So version 4 is the one. And where is my Docker file? This is inside this one. So I will do it. Okay. Perfect. It's getting created. It's done. Now what we will do is Docker push. Okay. And it's getting pushed. Okay. Now we need to go to our Docker Hub. As you can see, I've pushed it. Okay, it's done. We should be able to see it. And as you can see, this is here. Okay. Okay. So we are at this step now. We have tested this one. We have created the Docker file was created. Okay, it's already in repo. We have to create the Docker image. But I have to mention it, create and push. Okay. Okay. So this step is also done. We are done with the two steps. Now we need to create the Azure Kubernetes Service. Let's go here. I will duplicate this one. I will go inside this one, create and cluster. Okay. So here's the resource group name, and I'm continuing with standard. I want high performance, and I will name this one AKS1. Okay. So when you select the standard one, you will get all these three. Okay. And for the pricing tier, we can continue with free. We will be charged here. Just make sure you will be charged for VMs and nodes. Okay. Like the node pools that we will be using, we will be charged for that. Now we'll go further. Okay, rest of the things we will continue with default. For the pools part, what I want, I can continue with two. Okay, I will delete this one. I don't need this. And I will modify this to a different one. I don't think I need 32 GB RAM here. And because what happens when you even run it for a 2 to 4 hours, 1 to 2 hours, it will cost you like around 200 or maybe 100. Okay, so just make sure if you're using pay as you go, you're comfortable with this. So I will use T2 here. Okay, and minimum node that I need is one. And I think pod scalability is not the issue because we will not have much pods in. Okay, okay, so this is it. We are moving to networking now. We will continue with default. Integrations are also fine. I'm totally fine with this. Monitoring. I don't want Grafana and Prometheus. Okay, they both are removed. And now we can continue with this. Okay, so this is the infrastructure resource group. Okay, this is one different thing. Okay, we go to tags and review and create. It's validating. Okay, so it will start creating it now. Okay, it can take around 5 to 10 minutes for it to build because there are lots of processes that and configuration that it has to done. Okay, welcome back. So I got a small error related to monitoring, and the rest of my AKS was deployed successfully. Okay, so what now we will do, as we can see, AKS service is installed. You can go to namespaces to check what are the namespaces that it has. Kubernetes in Azure by default creates these four for its own. Okay, and we will be deploying our name server namespaces like pods inside this namespace. Okay, you can create one of your own as well. Okay, and these are the workloads and services that will be deployed in like namespace, kube system, and a gatekeeper. Okay, and you can go through these things and just learn on your own and check. Like if you have any doubts and needs more understanding, you can check these things on your own. Okay, let's check our node pools. We had selected only one, and as you can see, this is our node pool. Okay, and inside this, we should have only one node. Yes, that's fine because we have selected the minimum of one node. Okay, so this will be our worker node, and master node will be managed by Azure. Now let's connect our now let's connect our Azure to our local system. Okay. So for this, I will run the command Azure AKS credentials. Resource name is RG-1 and name of the my uh, Azure Kubernetes Services AKS one. Okay, we are able. It will identify this because we are defining here. It will be a AKS. Okay, so it will look for this. Okay, it gave me some errors. Okay, resource group. I believe this was it. Okay, perfect. Now we are connected. Great. Now let's run the command kubectl get nodes. Okay, and as you can see, we have these nodes running. Okay, now we will go to kubectl get pods. We don't have any pods running. Perfect, perfect. So now we are at this step. Okay, we have checked the connectivity to our AKS. It's working fine. We are able to run this. Okay. So we have already created this. This is our deploy file. We are using API version v1, okay? And the rest of the things are similar, like you can give it meta space, how many replicas, how many pods we will have. We will have two pods. And what will be the selector for this? We will use the my app one name, okay? And we have defined it this name and the image. This is important. I have defined what image this will pull because it's a public Docker image. It will pull from my Docker hub, okay? I have defined the version before and the port my app has exposed at what port it's working is 5000. Okay, and load balancer we will use this to communicate with public. Okay, public access to provide public access to our container. We will use this. Okay, and our like container will be listening at port 5000 and outside it will be exposed to the 5000 port as well. Okay, so let's get started on this. So now, as you can see, I'm in this one with this folder and I have these files inside this. Okay, these both of the files. Okay, now, now I will go back and I will use the command kubectl apply dash f. Okay, and then I will name it tier one. Okay, this is the folder name. Okay, just remember this is deployed. Perfect. It's deployed. Now let's see what is the IP for this. Okay, kubectl get let's see pods. Let's see pods. Okay, it's these are running perfectly. Okay, as you can see, status is running. It means that these pods. And if you want to check, for example, you want to check the logs for this. Okay, you can just do this. Just logs. And I forgot to give the space here. Just give the space, and you can see it's connected to MSSQL. Then it means it's working fine. Now we want to know at what like public IP our load balancer has exposed it to. Okay, we will go to kubectl and get SVC service. This is the public IP, external IP. Okay, so this is the my load balancer app service, and this is the private IP, and this is the public IP. We will copy this one, and the port that has been exposed is 5000. And let's go here. We will go here, and we will define the port, and it's working perfect. Now, because we on our previous one, okay, let's give it a uh different username. Okay, admin's working fine, right? Now let's see, because we haven't changed the database and we gave one entry at the beginning of our project, okay? If you remember when we tested it initially. So we will give it this name and this email ID and let's try to submit. Already exists because at the time when we were running this locally, we already gave it this entry, okay? So the username and the entry has to be unique. So only then this will work and it's working fine, okay? So that's how you can do this. You can simply create your project, and this is just a tier one. You can make so much modification in this project, and it's a really interesting project. Okay, so now next thing we will do is, because we have done everything, it's all wind up, and we will now we have confirmed the deployments through CLI. We have checked it's working fine, and on website as well. Okay, now we will remove the resources. So to remove the resources, you need to run the command kubectl delete -f and tier one. Okay, so we have deleted like these bots now, okay? And to remove everything from your project, I recommend you go to home, all resources, and make sure you remove everything, okay? I'm removing database and everything, okay? So I would, if you are using it on different environment and you have other applications running as well, just make sure don't do this. Only run the specific services, and this is how you delete it. And yeah, because I don't want to get charged for longer than expected than I need. Okay. So this is done. This is deleted. I am deleting these resources as well. Okay. So this is how you can deploy your container, like create a normal Node.js application, connect it with the DB and containerize it and use it in the AKS. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project, and it was helpful to you. Okay. So if you have any suggestions, what improvements I can do on this project, we will be modifying this project and creating automation and everything. So if you have any suggestions, drop down comment below, and I will love to work on that scenario as well. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Thank you.